We are going to talk about building a personal brand. And you know that so many times when I'm talking to people or when I'm speaking at an event, a lot of the time it's just people really wondering, how do I build a personal brand? You know, when you join this business, most of you are with here with It Works. You know, you start and you're selling an incredible product, you're selling the business opportunity, but you're also, you're introducing people into your world. And so I want to show you exactly how you can really truly start building a personal brand. And you guys, if you have an eSuite access with your It Works account, this social media guide, the little sexy one here that you see on my phone, is available to you in your document library. We created it just for you. No one else in the world has access to this social media guide. Only you with It Works have access to this. It is so beautifully created, and oh my gosh, you guys, it is filled with so much juice and just like little golden nuggets. And I want to remind you that, when you're building a brand, there are steps and time that go into really developing, what are your 5 pillars? And I'm going to talk about that, what's most important to be posting about, how, like, what do you even post about? And so I'm just going to dive right in. And hi, I'm excited, you guys. Okay. So the very first thing that I really want to just help you understand the goal of is to help you create an impact. Okay, our goal is to make an impact on people's lives, to create community, to build relationships, to inspire people, to pour into people, to share our stories, even the hard parts of our stories. Trust me, I know that it's hard to share the ugly parts of our stories and not so pretty parts. But in those painful times, we have so much to share that other people are needing to hear, right? And the good as well, like celebrating one another, cheering each other on. All of that stuff is important. So I really quickly want to read off some statistics of some of the main things that people really enjoy seeing online. And the most important one is honesty. Honesty is so huge. 86% of people want to see honesty when they're scrolling through social media. Next is friendly. Obviously, this is huge when it comes to building online, you guys. Helpful is next, and then funny after that, and then it's trendy and being politically correct after that. And a lot of the times, we put trendy at the very top of our list, and we're looking left and we're looking right at what everyone else is doing. But that's when you lose the magic of who you are and what you bring to the table, what you have to offer. That's when you lose that magic, is when you start looking left and you start looking right and you think that what's trendy is the most important, but only 45% of people really are looking for what's trendy. Okay, 86% of people just want honesty. So very quickly, I want you to think about some of the main accounts that you really enjoy following and why. And in the social guide, we have like a list of questions for you guys. The social guide is gold. Okay, we have a list of questions for you to answer of why do you like following those accounts? What about them inspires you? Is it the honesty? Is it the transparency? Are they just so authentic? And so I really just want you focusing on, okay, am I being honest? Am I being friendly? Am I being helpful? Am I being funny, trendy, politically correct? All of that stuff is important. But now that you're building a brand on social media, you're a storyteller. Okay? People want to read a story. They want to read your story. And that's where the transparency comes in. And so I don't want you focusing on posting just for the sake of posting, because every post truly does matter. And when you're building online, that's so easy to forget. And you also want to keep your posts relevant. You want to talk about the 5 core things that you're truly passionate about. And so I wanted to just to kind of show you a few examples. I'm going to run through a few examples here with you just so that you can kind of understand more what I'm talking about. But I also just want to help you understand what the 5 pillars are and what that means. And so I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to show you guys exactly what the 5 pillars are that we talk about. And this is just going to help you start creating some of the best content that you can so that you can truly begin to build your brand. Okay, so on page 30 of your social guide, we have time to work it. So you see these 5 circles. The 5 circles indicate what are the 5 core things, your 5 pillars that you are constantly talking about on social media. For me, it's motherhood, it's personal development, community, traveling, fashion, it's collaborations I do with other brands and building my business and my products. Those are things that I am always posting about. And why those are the things I'm always posting about is because if I sat down over coffee with you, I would be able to talk about those things for hours. So I want you thinking about, okay, what are my 5 core pillars? What if I sat down with Alyssa over coffee, what could I talk about for hours? What are those 5 things for you? And why that's so important, you guys. And I want to show you just a few examples because this is so important for you to understand. The key is, though you're constantly posting about those 5 things, there are hundreds of things that spiral off of those 5. Okay, so for an example, when you're talking about motherhood, maybe you're a single mom. Maybe you've been through a divorce. Maybe you have 5 kids. Maybe you're not a mom yet, but you're a dog mom. Maybe you have a dream of being a stay-at-home mom. Like, those are things that you can post about when it comes to just different types of motherhood. Okay, and maybe you like talking about fitness or coffee and how you like your coffee. And I mean, there are tons of coffee fanatics that I'm always seeing them posting about. It could be your journey through your faith. It could be adventures, your family, your friends. Like I said, mine's community. That's like my family, my friends, the people that I'm able to surround myself with, that I choose to surround myself with. So I don't want you thinking small here. You've got to think bigger and better, okay? So when it comes to these 5 pillars that you guys see right here, that's why it is so important. Because those are the 5 pillars that your social will revolve around. So I'm just going to jump on here super quick. So if you were to look at my personal Instagram page, okay, this is what you see. And here is what I want you to understand, is that when you're looking at my page, you can see tons of different photos, but every single one of these photos are something from my 5 pillars, my 5 core topics that I'm always talking about. And when you click on the actual image, you can see just compelling captions. I put a lot of effort into my captions. And like I said, you guys, I'm talking about motherhood, collaborations, personal development, community. You see my 5 pillars right here when you first go to my feed. And that's why it's so crucial, you guys, that you have your 5 pillars. Because if someone was to go to your feed and let's say you have I would say the first 9 to 12 photos are your most important. Obviously, when someone goes to your page, that's the first thing that they're going to see. They're going to scroll down and they're going to see what you see right here in front of you. Okay, that is why it's so important to have your 5 pillars so that you're not posting the exact same thing every single time that you're posting. So here you can see that I have traveling with my cocktail by the pool. I talk about owning my time, and then you see a picture with Harper and just that we're able to travel in the summer. And maybe I'll talk about what life was like before I found It Works in an image like this while telling a story of where we are now. From living on food stamps to having $5 in the bank to being here where we are now, being able to surprise her on a trip to Disney. It's just sharing parts of your story. And when I post a quote, I always have a compelling caption, pictures of myself. I usually always put something personal development in there. Again, a picture of me and Harper. You can ask questions in your captions, but you just see that the variety. That's what I want you to understand, is the variety that you see. Okay? I want to show you my friend Morgan's profile because she does a really great job of doing this too. And okay, so here's Morgan's profile. And you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, okay, when you see the variety in her photos. And she said to me that what she is so passionate about talking about is marriage and being a newlywed and traveling and Jesus and being a dog mom and fitness. And you see that throughout her entire feed. You see this variety of the things that she loves and that she can so easily talk about and give advice on, and just like create that community around with people who have that exact thing in mind. Because what happens when you start looking left and you start looking right is that you start comparing yourself. So you start putting out pictures that really don't excite you. You start writing captions that you think people want to read, but they really just want to hear your heart. Like, they just want to hear from you. They want your honesty, your transparency, your authenticity. That's what people want from you. Okay? People don't expect this great, big, beautiful life always being posted. Like, even if you post a beautiful image, you can talk about having a hard day. You can talk about, maybe you're going through a divorce, and talk about like just something that you're struggling with that you found blank was helpful while you're going through that. Like, maybe you read a book or a Bible verse. Talk about that. And when I say talk about things in transparency, I'm not saying dump all of your problems online. But if you can offer value to one person, if you can be that person that maybe you need to read a caption and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I needed to read this caption today. I do it all the time. I do it probably every day. I'm like, I needed to read that. Like, thank you. And I'll message them and be like, thank you so much. I needed to read this caption. So that's why transparency is so important. And that's why you being yourself is so important. Because I don't have the skills that Morgan has. I'm not interested in the same things that Morgan is, but our communities are completely different, but we're still building thriving businesses. Is that making sense? So you've got to understand that you have so much to offer that you're not even talking about online. And I know that it's hard to talk about your story. Trust me, I have been there. It was the scariest thing in my life, talking about living on food stamps, having $5 in the bank, like not even being able to pay bills. It was so hard for me to talk about that. But remember that these are people's highlight reels. You have to remember that. These are people's highlight reels. And so when you get vulnerable, when you have that transparency and you're honest, that's when people become connected to you. That is when people, you begin creating that community that stays with you. And same thing with when you're talking about your business, when you're talking about your products, you can talk about it in such transparency. Talk about how you're feeling versus how you used to feel 3 months ago. It doesn't have to be these great big things that you're always talking about. So you have to remember that. And then the next thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys is just making sure that you're posting regularly, okay? So when you begin posting, and just like we talked about, work on your 5 pillars. You guys, do not put this off. I'm telling you right now. Do not put it off. You've got to do the groundwork in order to get to where you want to be when it comes to social. Like this work that you're going to be putting in, this social guide was created. Like, we created this hands on, like hours and hours and weeks and months. We created it for you specifically so that you can develop a personal brand, so that you can thrive on social media, so that you can build a business, so that you can change thousands of people's lives while creating an income for yourself and helping others do the same. This wasn't just created overnight. We created this based on everything social right now. Okay? So do the work. Put the work in that it takes. Posting regularly is so important. And also, really quick, I just want to say, when it comes to posting regularly, this also means your stories. Your stories are huge, you guys. Using Facebook stories, using Instagram stories. This is so huge for your business, okay? And for building your brand. When you take these 5 pillars, you're gonna take one of your pillars. So I would do something of me and Harper together. Like maybe we're coloring or doing chalk or we're on a walk. And I'm gonna be posting that in my stories just because I'm taking people on this adventure with me. And then I'm gonna post about my products, some amazing before and afters. Or maybe I'm gonna make my keto coffee on a video. Or maybe I'll record a video of myself talking about one of my favorite products. And I'm gonna post that. And then I'm going to post something else from my 5 pillars. Like maybe it's a book that I'm reading or a picture of a page from a book, or maybe I'm on a webinar like this. I'm going to be posting about that. And then I'll post the business opportunity. So you're just making this, you're weaving it into your life, okay? It's not this great, big, heavy, complicated thing. So I don't want you to think that it is. You're simply weaving your business, your brand, your products right into your life, into these 5 pillars. And that's how simple it is to start really building your brand. So my question for you is, what's something that you're skilled at? Outside of your business, outside of, these incredible products, what are you skilled at? Like, are you an amazing cook? Do you have a secret talent? Like, can you offer tips on something in the gym or maybe health-wise? My friend Laura, she does incredible videos on health. And I love watching them, and she knows what she's talking about. She's skilled in that area, and I'm not skilled in I'm skilled in health, but I'm not skilled in the way that she is, like the things that she knows, and I learn from her. And it's inspiring to me. I love it. Same thing, what can you teach someone? What's something that you've been through that you learned something from that you're just not talking about, because you could help someone else through something that they're going through that exact same thing? What's something that you've always wanted to do? Like, are you going to start running? Are you going to start cooking classes? Are you going to launch a podcast? Are you going to write a book? Are you simply going to work out 2 days a week, 3 days a week? Are you going to, what is it? What is it for you? And start taking people, maybe there's something you've been wanting to do that you just keep putting off. Now it's time to do it. Like, let's start doing it, and let's take everyone on your social on this adventure with you. It doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. It's just being visible, showing up every single day, being visible on social. That's what this is about. That's what this holds you accountable, creating these 5 pillars. You have everything to be posting about. So don't say you don't have anything to be posting about, because you have 5 core things in your life that you truly, truly love. And I know that you do. And that's what we're going to build your personal brand on. And that's truly how simple it is, you guys. And you have to offer value. Offer something that creates emotion, that creates feeling in what you're talking about and what you're posting about. It should always create a feeling, an emotion. You should always be teaching something or adding value in some area or another. Okay. And next is when I talk about being visible, it's, are you posting photos of yourself? Are you posting photos of your family? Or do people feel engaged and involved with you? Do they feel like they're truly on that journey with you? Are you doing videos? Are you doing lives? Are you doing video messages when you're talking to people? Voice messages when you're talking to people? People want to see you. You've got to get uncomfortable and become visible. You just have to. If you're going to build a brand online, people want to see you. They want to hear from you. And when you are yourself and you know what you have to offer and you step into that, no matter how uncomfortable it is, that's when you start really building a brand. That's what's so important about this. And it's not about the number of followers. People get so caught up with that. That doesn't qualify someone as an influencer. That doesn't qualify someone as inspiring just because of the number of followers. The traits that I look for with someone that I consider an influencer, they're authentic. They have leadership. They're engaging. They're an expert in some area. I don't care how many followers you have. Are you adding value to people's lives? That's what I want to know. And that's what every single one of us has the opportunity to do. And when you download your social guide, that takes you through step by step by step on what it looks like to create the brand that you want online. The number of followers doesn't matter, because I can tell you that there are people building this business right now who don't have a lot of followers, who are top recruiters, who are crushing it with customers, who are bringing in distributors because they are themselves. They're authentic. And I'm telling you, when you have that transparency and that authenticity, there's no pressure when you get online. There's no pressure, because you're talking about the things that you know, like you just know what you're talking about. You're comfortable talking about it. It's not forced. It just is so natural for you to be able to talk about it. But you've got to do this groundwork. This groundwork is so important, and you only have to do it, I would say, maybe every 4 to 6 months. Just go through the social guide that we created for you guys. See where, I always do this. I'm like, okay, where can I improve? Like, what did I fail at the last 4 to 6 months that I can get better at? And this is even something that happens weekly. I'm just like, okay, I want to get better. Like, where's my disconnect at? And just figure it out. Like, you've got to be willing to fail and fail and fail and fail and fail. Like, that's just as how this goes. It's just like building a business. It's just like building anything else that's successful and meaningful. But you've got to do the groundwork. You have to be understanding that you're not just going to be able to start posting on social one day and then a week later you have tons of followers and all of these things. That just isn't how it works. So this social guide is on your eSuite in the document library, you guys. You can upload it to your team pages. You can print it off, put it in a little binder for yourself, put it on your phone, your iPad. That is all that you need to start really building your brand, is fill out the social guide. There are tips, you guys, for theme, the colors that you're using, going live. We have a full checklist here for how to go live on Facebook, doing video posts. What does that mean? Types of videos, your stories, high quality photos. We have every single thing laid out for you. Okay, you're able to track your progress. This is incredible, you guys. When you plan your next post, we have here, are you posting your hashtags? Are you putting your geolocation on everything? Are you tagging brands? Are you tagging people? Are you getting technical and tracking your growth? All of these things, you guys, is right at your fingertips. Go on Connect and download it. Go on your eSuite and download it. It is right there. And I'm telling you, this is going to completely push your business on social to the next level. But when you're developing a brand, those 5 pillars are the most crucial, okay? There are questions on here, again, like I said, what are you skilled at? What's something that you've been through, that you've grown from, that you can add value to others too? What's something that's changed your life? What have you been through that's changed your life? Why did you join your business? Why do you love these products? It's just talking about the things that you love without it feeling heavy or forced. That's the goal. That's what building a brand should feel like. It is hard work, absolutely, but it shouldn't be uncomfortable in a way that you feel like you're not being yourself. You're not going to build a brand and a community that way. And if you do, it just isn't authentic. You won't connect with them, okay? You've got to be able to connect with people who are like you. That's why when we talk about, searching hashtags and geolocations, are you searching hashtags that truly connect with what you're all about, with one of these 5 pillars? I'm not searching hashtags for deer hunters. I'm not into that. I'm not searching hashtags for those types of things. I'm searching hashtags for the things that I love. And I'm connecting with women all over the world who love the same things as me. And that's just how simple it is that when you develop these 5 core pillars, you apply that to every single thing that you do in your business, throughout your business. And you weave in your products, you weave in your business, and that's truly how simple this is. Building a brand isn't this big, heavy thing. You want to make sure that you are just being authentic and being yourself and posting regularly. You guys, I build mostly on Instagram right now, and through my stories are so huge. But in it, you see my life being weaved throughout my products, throughout my business. And I take people on an adventure with me. I talk about the hard times. You can talk about, maybe you just sold a wrap for $25. Talk about what that $25 means for you. It can be so simple, and it should more than often, like, it should be the simple things, like date night. Some people can't afford date night, you guys. Most people. They can't afford to just jump in the car and go away for a weekend, or taking their kids to the movies. Like, talk about the things that you desire. Cast that vision onto people. Building a brand requires vision casting. It just does. People are on an adventure with you. You've got to take them with you where you want to go, and cast that vision and talk about the hard, uncomfortable things. And that's when you start building a community. The more you are you, the more that people will want to be around you. They'll want to read what you have to say. They'll jump on your live videos. They'll send you messages. They'll comment on your photos, because you're building something that's true and authentic. But you've got to do the groundwork. And this is seriously all laid out for you right in your social guide. I can't even tell you guys how amazing this social guide truly is. Like, it blows my mind. I love it so much. And if you guys have, I'll leave some questions open. If you guys want to put them in the comment section, I'll answer a few questions, because we got through this super quick. I mean, that's honestly how simple it is. And you guys, if you do want, like, while you're kind of developing your brand and you want to just kind of start posting about, like, a few things that maybe you're passionate about, but it's not exactly your top 5, I always love searching, like, 30-day photo challenge on Pinterest. If you just type that in, 30-day photo challenge, I really love just going on there. They give you so many ideas, you guys. So that is a quick tip for you. Private or personal? I love it. Okay, truly it is up to you. I would say, since I've been in the blogging world, everything has really just been public. Like, everything should be public. That's just how you build. It's just what you do. So I've always been public. I hear people who are private who love being private. You just kind of have to figure out what works for you. I would switch it, maybe see like a week or two what it looks like. Play around with it, That is so important, is to just really figure out what works for you. Because what works for a lot of people doesn't necessarily work for me. Like, that's the beauty of this, is we all have our own thing kind of going on social. I am so glad you guys love the social guide. You are welcome. It took, oh my gosh, I was not the only one. It was a whole incredible team who put this together, and it was so much fun to work on. It was amazing. With your very first post, how did you start it? So some of my very first posts, you know what? People spend so much time getting ready to get ready. Like, you just have to stop getting ready to get ready and just start making posts for the things that you love talking about. Like, just start posting little by little. And your captions don't have to be like 5 paragraphs. Like, keep it very short and simple. You can ask questions. But I just feel like the simpler, the better if you're just getting started. And the social guide will really kind of walk you through where to start and what you should be posting about. But stop getting ready to get ready. Like, you just have to start posting, and then it will just feel really good. And you'll just continue to stay consistent with it and post regularly. That's what's most important. I hope you loved it. Let me know below if you learned something and what you learned, what you took away from this. I hope you guys have such an amazing night. Thank you for tuning in. Again, the social guide is on your Connect app. It is on your eSuite. Go download it. Do the groundwork. It is worth it. I promise. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. I will see you all later.